How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for the hearts. This is going to be a very quick scope, I hope. I am waiting. So if you guys could just start sharing the scope with your followers here on Periscope, you can click the little guy down in the right hand corner with no hair. Hey, how are you? How are you, Kiesha? Hey, Ashley. I was praying for you, wondering about you, how you've been. Um, yeah, so I this is going to be really quick, I think, maybe. I don't know. I'm actually just sitting here waiting for a someone. They're putting together a couch that's going in my office. And so I am waiting. And so I decided to hop on and spend time with you all again. Yes, thank you for those that are sharing. If you could just share this with your followers. Thank you for the hearts. Like I always say, the hearts always make Periscope much more interesting. So if you could heart me up, that'd be great. So how many of you have gotten or downloaded? Thank you. Great, Ashley. Great. So how many of you have conviction? I'm always wasting time and not spending. Yeah. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. This month is the month of August, and we are just about 3 days into the month of August. And I talked a little bit the other night about August being the eighth month, and the eighth month, the number eight, meaning the number of new beginnings. And many of you are have gotten to places in life where you are looking for a new beginning. Maybe something in your life has ended, or maybe it needs to end and you're working on ending it. And so you're trying to find a new place to start over again. And so we are going with the Emerge Online community here in the app. If you do not have our app, it is a app where we send out daily devotionals each day. And this month, the month of new beginnings, we are talking about purpose. We are talking about not only just discovering your purpose, but discovering what purpose for your life really is. And once you discover what purpose really is and how it connects you to God and His purpose for us being here, then you can better know how you should be spending your time. And so I think that is where many people miss it a lot of times, because we are really busy. Many of us are not just sitting around twiddling our thumbs. Many of us have very full schedules and very full calendars. But I want you to really step back and evaluate what you are doing with your time, what you are putting your energy into as it pertains to purpose and God's purpose for your life. And so that is kind of the focus of what we're going to be talking about this month. And that was the on the timeline graphic for today. It was talking about a lot of times we're very busy. It's not that we don't have anything to do. We are very busy. But what are we spending our time on? Are we exerting energy? Are we, are our calendars full with no space, any of that, but really no forward movement? A lot of times, and I've even experienced this in my own life, where we wear busyness like a badge of honor. We take pride in telling people, how busy we are and how all the stuff that we have to do. But I want us to take this month of new beginnings, because we cannot go. I think it's good when one season of your life is over to always evaluate that season and find the takeaways. What did I learn? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What do I need to evaluate and do better? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you're not getting the results that you want, if you're not getting the outcomes that you want in regards to how you're spending your time, then it's definitely time to start looking at what you're doing with the time you've been given. And that's the thing. A lot of us say, well, I just need more time in the day, more than 24 hours. But that is the only level playing field that we have. All of us have 24 hours. Oprah's got 24 hours. Bishop T.D. Jakes, he's got 24 hours. Beyonce, everybody has 24 hours. So you got to ask yourself, what am I doing with the time that I have been given? What am I doing with the time that I've been given? And again, if you're not getting the outcomes that you want, It is time this month, the eighth month, the month of new beginnings. We're starting over. This time we're starting over wiser. This time we're starting over smarter. This time we're starting over stronger. And we are going to do some things differently. We are going to look at how we've spent our time. We're going to look at how we've done things, how we've operated, how we've slacked, or if we, how we've overcommitted ourselves, or any of that stuff. Whatever your thing is, if it's overcommitment, then we're going to look at putting more margin in our day. A lot of times we are not able to really handle life or things that come our way because we have no margin in our day. We fill our calendars up with no room for life to happen. And what do I mean by that? I mean incidentals, things that we don't anticipate. They come up, they happen. And if your schedule is so full to where you don't have any room to pivot in your day or to handle that, or even if you just need to stop and pray or read your word or whatever it is to kind of ask God for direction on how to deal with those things, then you are going to forever kind of be like that hamster that's on the wheel, spinning and moving for appearing to be moving forward, but getting no real forward momentum. So that's what I want for you guys to that's what yeah, Ashley, that's awesome. Yeah, you're going to start again so much stronger. You're going to start again so much stronger. And that's why I always say the things that we've been through are not will not be wasted. I think God will take us through things to prepare us for our next season. Our past does not define us. It does not put us in some box, but our past prepares us for what God has for us. And a lot of times it's just like working out. If you don't work out and if you don't lift weights, eventually if you lift the same amount of weight for so long, then you'll kind of not become immune to that, but you'll kind of plateau off. So you've got to continuously add weight in order to increase your strength. And I think that's what God has done for many of us over the past few months, over the past year. God has continued to add weight to our workout each day. And it wasn't so it would break us, but so it would make us stronger and be able to handle the weight of the next season. I'm going to say that again. The weight that God added to you in this past season was not to break you, but it was to make you stronger to be able to handle the weight that is going to come in the next season. The things that used to tick you off, the things that used to bother you, the things that used to upset you in the last season are going to be nothing to you because God has made you stronger through this season, through taking you through those things. And so you're not going to be able to be moved by everything like you used to be. I believe that for somebody. You're not going to be able to be upset by everything like you used to be because the weight that God began to add to you in this last season has made you stronger for the new season. You're not going to be able to be for the things that God has for you to do, for the things that are coming up for you that God has purposed for you to do. You cannot be easily distracted by everything that's going on. You cannot be easily put off course for everything that's going on in this next season. You're going to have to be focused. You're going to have to be disciplined with how you use your time. That also means you're going to have to be able to tell people no. You're going to have to be able to say no to lots of things. And again, that's even good things, good opportunities. It's not because it's not a good opportunity. It's just because it doesn't fall in line with the purpose and what God has for you in this season, for this assignment, for this time. So I want you guys to believe that and know that, yeah, some things have ended in the last season, but God is bringing you into the eighth month, the number 8, the number of new beginnings. God is getting ready to bring some things into your life that are brand new. And everything that you went through, everything that you endured, all of the pressure, all of the stress, whatever it was, it didn't break you. It did not come to break you, but it came to strengthen you so that your shoulders will be able to carry the weight of the anointing that God has on your life to take you into this next season. That is why you had to go through some things. That is why you had to endure some things, because God is getting ready to take you to a place, and you can't be average. You can't be unnerved by everything. You can't be upset by everything. You can't be distracted, and you can't be unfocused for where God is getting ready to take you. So I really want you guys to consider that. If you have not downloaded the app, we will be talking about purpose all this month. We will be talking about purpose all this month. And so I really want you guys to be a part of that. I really want you guys to be a part of the studies and the daily devotionals and the timeline graphics and the inspirational messages that we will be sharing around purpose. And also, we will be having more Bible studies. I was actually sitting here while I was waiting on them to return back with some of the supplies to fix the chair. I was actually studying a little bit on purpose to put together a Bible study that I want to do probably maybe tomorrow or Friday, maybe even tomorrow, Friday night. And so that's what we're going to be dealing with all this month, because I think it's time for us to stop spinning our wheels and stop, wasting our time each day. A lot of us plan for the whole year. We plan for the next 3 months, but do you plan for each day? Because that's what is going to determine the results that you get. That's what's going to determine the results that you get, is what you do every day. The little things you do each and every day will add up to big results over time. So it's fine to have your 5-year plan. It's fine to have your 3-month plan, whatever you have. But are you planning each and every day? Are you being purposeful in each and everything you're doing each and every day? Because that is what's going to get you results. That is what is going to give you the traction that you need to be able to get the motivation that you need to be able to go into those things that God has for you to do, those visions, those dreams, those businesses, all that stuff that you have in your heart that God has purposed in your heart for you to do. You've got to make sure that you make the best use out of every single day. And that means, like I said, making sure that you run everything through the filter of purpose. When I say that, I mean everything, every decision, every request for your time. How is this enhancing my purpose? How is this adding to my purpose? And not that you can't help people, not that you can't do that. I'm not saying that in an absolute way, but I'm saying, again, don't just let it immediately be, oh yeah, I can do that. But ask yourself, ask God through prayer, through fasting, whatever it is, depending on whatever the situation is. How does this enhance my purpose? How does this move me forward in my purpose? And I know some of you probably find that hard to digest or swallow, because some of us are people pleasers. Some of us get our satisfaction and our affirmation from helping others or feeling needed or getting pats on the back or whatever that is. And coming from a recovering people pleaser myself, it's hard sometimes to tell people no, but this is, if you're going to really work in your purpose, you've got to realize that if you spend all your days, all your time working on other people's agenda, you won't have the energy, the motivation to work on your own goals. And eventually, when you do that and you never say no to people or to things or requests, you'll eventually become resentful. You'll become resentful of those people. You'll become resentful of the things that they've asked you to do, and so forth. So you've got to learn how to say no. You've got to learn how to say when enough is enough, and learn how to weed out those things that do not fall in line with your purpose, period. So my question today is, what are you doing with the time that you have been given? How does everything that you do each and every day needs to line up with your purpose? So that is it. You guys have any questions for me or anything you want to comment on? Thank you for the hearts. Thank you so much. Y'all are so sweet. Yeah, so if not, I'm going to log off, but I will be back on. I'm trying to get more consistent with Periscope again, like I once was. How do strategy and purpose align? I think strategy and purpose are not on-time message. Strategy and purpose are not necessarily synonymous. I think once you know what your purpose is, and I think your purpose is going to be, before you can really know your purpose, I think as far as what your specific purpose is, I think you have to know what season you're in. I think you have to know what season of life you are in. And once you have prayed and you have asked God, what season of life, hold on, y'all, let me block somebody. Okay. Yeah, so I think once you know what season of life you are in, I think you can better be able to determine what your purpose is for where you are at the time. Because I think sometimes people, and I'm going to get to strategy. I'm going to come back around to that. But I think a lot of times people really miss their purpose or don't really focus on their purpose because they are either trying to get back to another place they were in at another season of life they were in, and so they really the miss that period where they could really be focused on their true purpose for that season. And I guess a better example of that would be you're not going to be able to do the same thing that you were doing when you were 20 when you're 55. So you've got to ask God, okay, where am I? You're not going to be able to do the same things when you are single as you can do when you're married, or when you're married, you can't do the same things you do when you're single. So you've got to assess what season you are in order to be able to adequately discover your purpose for that season. And of course, all that stuff comes with prayer. But I think strategy is tagged on. Once you know your purpose, you've got to have a strategy. And I think that I know for me, speaking from personal experience, I've had to give myself time to think. I've had to plan time to think. I've had to literally set aside time, whether that's through prayer, whatever it is, but literally time to actually think about what it is that I'm trying to achieve and how can I get there. And of course, God will give you that. But I think that's what we miss, is that we don't really schedule time to really think. That means unadulterated, uninterrupted time where we just sit, whether that's after prayer or whatever. I know for me, one of the things that helps when I've really focused on what my purpose is for that time, that moment, whatever that goal is, I really do spend that time in prayer. And I've noticed that whenever I always take a pad or a notepad or something to write with whenever I go into prayer, because I've noticed that whenever I come out of prayer, God will begin to download those specific strategies to me. I won't say each and every time, and I won't say that it's always super clear, but He will always give me something to put me in the right direction, even if He just gives me the very first step as far as what I need to do. But always, whenever I go into prayer, I always take a notepad and something to write with, because He will always give me something. And I don't want to forget it. I mean, we're human, we forget things. So I always take it and immediately write it down and then meditate on it. Another thing, like I said, is just giving yourself some time to think about those specific things, and giving yourself some motivation to carry out that strategy. Because I think the strategy is the easiest thing we can come up with. I think strategizing is not the most difficult part. I think that I always say that life means nothing if you don't know your purpose, but purpose means nothing if you don't focus on it every day. But focus means nothing if you don't commit. Because it's easy to focus on our strategy for a day or two. We can even get a week focused on our strategy. But how are we going to commit, our time, really committed? And all a commitment is a decision. You make a decision that you're not going to let anything stop you from doing what God has purposed in your heart. Whether that's, a goal, business goal, whether that's a ministry goal, whatever that is, you have to commit. Because it's not enough just to focus, because we can be focused for a day or two, but we've got to be focused for the long haul. And so that takes a commitment to focus. And so, like I said, I think the strategy is the easy part. I think it's getting the commitment, finding those things that are going to keep us tethered to our goal, keep us tethered to that dream. And, only you know what those things are. I always say, consider who is missing out. The longer that you don't do that thing that God has purpose for you to do, the longer you sit there and don't start that business, that coaching business or whatever, or write that book, or start that business, start that nonprofit, start that ministry. There are people that are assigned to you that are literally missing out because you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing with the time that you have been given. So you've got to, figure out what those things are for you. And Yeah, so I think that's what how purpose and strategy will align. But again, once you know the strategy, you've got to get focused. But once you're focused, you've got to commit to that focus every single day, because it's the little things done over long periods of time that add up to big results. So yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad that helped. Um, so yeah. Well, I'm didn't anticipate being on very long, but I appreciate your questions. I appreciate the hearts and those who shared the broadcast with their followers, and so I'll be hopping on. Like I said, I'm going to try to do a Bible study. In addition to, and if you have the app, I'll be sending out the notification as when the Bible study will be. I'm going to probably do it again on Periscope, but also on Google Hangout, because I liked Google Hangout as far as being able to use it, because a lot of people don't have Periscope. So, yeah, I'll probably do the Google Hangout again in addition to Periscope, because I just like Periscope in regards to being able to quickly ask questions and all that stuff. So I'll probably do both, but I will figure out how to use Google Hangout a little bit better than last time when we had the business Q&A, because I was kind of fumbling around with it, and so I'm not very well versed in Google Hangout, but I'm going to investigate some more. But I did like the platform, and then people also told me that it comes through clearer and it doesn't have the interruptions that Periscope, because sometimes Periscope can really get, the signal can get lost and all that stuff. So with Google Hangout, it doesn't do that. So yeah, I'm going to try to investigate that some more to see if we can do Google Hangout next time. But all right, guys, well, thank you again for the hearts. Thank you guys for all of that, your questions. If there's nobody else with any questions, I'm going to log off. I think we're almost getting to the home stretch as far as my chair being put together in there. And so yeah, I will holler at y'all. And I will have a surprise tomorrow. Well, I actually kind of told what the surprise was the other day, but I will have a surprise for you guys that will, for you guys again that are looking for information, or that are looking for tools. I'll say that, not just information, but are looking for resources and tools to be able to help you to be more productive on purpose, purposeful productivity, not just being busy. Because any answer busy, but what are we really doing with our time? So I have a resource that I'm working on, especially for all of you guys that are visionaries, that are dreamers, that always have ideas and really don't know where to start with those ideas. So I have something coming, and it should be here. The sample should be here tomorrow. That's what I was told. So I'll hop on tomorrow too when I get that and share that with you guys as well. But all right, guys, I won't belabor the time, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow, or maybe even later on tonight if I do a prayer call. I'll see. I have a couple of things that I got to get knocked out before the morning, so I don't know. But yeah, either way, I will holler at you guys soon, and you guys take care and be blessed. Bye.